Hey folks, we're still 8 weeks or so away from MPL Season 2, but we are committed to bringing you Manifold content between then and now, and today we have the final match of our weekly I Am Brad. With me here as always is Adam.
Howdy,
Adam, what are
folks.
we watching?
So today we've got Steven and Justice playing the match 3. So Justice, at the bottom of the screen here, is going to be playing Scree, Alejandro, and Alexandrite as an Mono Green Eidolon thing.
Yeah, with Alexandrite at 15 and Scree at 11, it's pretty tough to have two Eidolons in your hero line. But Justice is just going for it. He put a, not Reshaper, what's that? Stalwart?
Stalwart.
He put a Stalwart on Scree, so he's down 2 health. He's on a 34 health build, which is unusual for 3 heroes. And all of this is so that when you just draw and slam your Cujo, which Alejandro lets you do as early as round 2, you get the maximum number of red dice. And Justice spent a long time grappling with blue-green sacrifice decks and not making it to the top tables of the weeklies and not having chances to win his promos. But he's been doing a lot better recently on this mono green deck. And here he's 1-1. And if he wins this game, he gets that coveted full imagery Rumble of the Grotto. Justice won the die roll and is starting by playing a Relic Seeker.
Yeah, so Relic Seeker here does some good things for his deck. If nothing else, Relic Seeker is really powerful, right? But also, Justice has Leyline of Great Rest in his deck, and hopefully he'll be able to find one. Looks like, I think I saw a flash of one in his hand. And so that pairs really nicely with this Relic Seeker.
And overwhelmingly, Justice's deck is play Cujo, and after I played Cujo, play another Cujo.
Yeah.
And so going deeper and looking for your Cujos is just an excellent use of Relic Seeker.
That's an excellent.
But here's the ley line, just as you called out.
Yep, exhausting the Relic Seeker, and this is just like one of the strongest starts in Justice's deck. On the other side, Steven played a Wasteland Stalwart, which and leaving up yellow, 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 green with. Okay.
Yeah, the classic.
The classic on both sides. Here's a 1, here's a 4. So Energy Retracer here is going to take either this purple or this yellow dice, putting that die, it looks like it's a yellow game.
Oh, man.
Putting that counter on Wasteland Stalwart.
So Energy Retracer says, on arrival, you get to sabotage a dice, and then you put a counter on this and another support character you control of the color of the sabotage dice. Mm-hmm. And you really notice the difference between games when you sabotage red, you're going to punch. You sabotage blue, you're going to defend. When you sabotage yellow, and it means your opponent's already making yellow, that means this tends to be a very low resource game.
Yeah, a lot of rend in those type of games.
Although I suppose Justice won't be making more yellow. He got 1 yellow off of a temporary condition from the ley line.
And he had a chance after seeing the Wasteland Stalwart, but before Steven played the Retracer, to resolve either of his 2 dice. And he didn't, and you have to make that specific read. But either way, yellow and purple are both strong options, so it didn't really matter all that much.
The yellow dice was showing sabotage.
Yeah, but Steven had a dice.
Steven had two twos.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was an opportunity for that.
Yep. So Steven's deck over here is kind of built to just play good cards, generate good board state, take a couple trades here and there, but mostly just have a lot of options of ways to make his board good. And this looks like exactly what he's aiming for.
Yeah, and this is one of the more proactive starts. And it's really nice when you get to have a proactive round 1, because then your reactive round 2s and 3s are even more powerful because you've already
got your
pressure.
Board state.
Justice is going to fight all of the removal options of Steven, though by the merit of his deck, really focusing on one corner of support type.
Sure.
Almost everything in his deck is an ethereal structure. And so Steven has, maybe a third of his removal that hits that.
Yeah,
and the other 2/3 are almost worthless.
Yeah, like Detonate Mines and Disrupt Communication
and Return
to Soil are the 3 options that Steven would have in green-yellow.
So I suppose being green-yellow, Steven does actually have a huge suite of options.
And being Steven, he probably has the Daring Saboteur in here or 2.
Yeah,
maybe 3.
Boldy has played Saboteur in the past.
So Steven just modified into Rend 4, and Justice has 3 cards in hand.
And the draw 1 in Justice's hand is not going to help.
Yeah.
Now, if Steven rends 4, then Justice gets to draw 1.
Which
this
it looks
buys
like,
Steven the dig in.
But yeah, that's what we were talking about with the low resource game.
But Justice knew the top card of his deck because he just put it there. So
Sure.
hopefully it was... Yeah, it looks like he's got 7 gems worth of plays, 8 gems worth of plays out of his 3 cards.
Yeah.
Now that he
So
might
he'll
not
have-
spend 6 cleanly, but he'll do something solid.
Yeah, he's got a Ritual Circle, a Roaring Fire, and a Witchfire. So, like, yeah, he'll be able to spend his gems this round at the very least. Yeah.
It looks like the Wasteland Stalwart is not shielded. I'm wondering if that shield
Yeah, it
got
is.
removed.
It's right there. No,
Yeah,
Steven just uses
yeah.
these yellow these Lego shields.
Which I do like. I couldn't see it.
They work out a lot better in person because they're 3-dimensional.
Yeah, so they give some
sometimes-
height.
Yeah, so
They don't hide behind your D20s.
yeah, and the vertical view of that shield isn't great. All right, so Justice is going to start by activating Alejandro, playing a Ritual Circle.
And often an early Ritual Circle is not that powerful because it takes some time for you to fill up your discard. But because Justice got his entire hand rendered, he actually already has 2 events in his discard and a Witchfire in his hand.
Yeah. Disrupt communication there by Steven taking out this Leyline of Great Rest is kind of exactly what you were talking about. With there, he has some removal options, but that was the right one at the right time.
Yeah, and doesn't care that it's shielded, and you can it's Steven went after the shielded Leyline of Great Rest rather than the Ritual Circle.
Yeah.
Even though the Ritual Circle's probably going to be putting out more output.
Sure.
The Leyline has 4 durability, so fewer of Steven's things target it, and it was already shielded.
Mm-hmm.
And so Steven makes this line in order to make more of his removal late in the game continue to be relevant.
Yeah, well put. So we've got our players just kind of trading off dice here. Justice is trying to get his breakpoint of defeating Sylvestra. Steven's going to have a much better... Steven has a lot lower of a hill to climb to hit a breakpoint of defeating a hero than Justice does.
Yeah, Scree started with 10, Sylvestra started with 16.
Exactly. And so it'll be interesting to see how these breakpoints line up for these players. Justice has rolled quite well in terms of damage and continues to do so.
Yeah, and this draw is excellent, and Steven's yellow dice turned up blank.
Yeah.
And Steven doesn't have very aggressive dice available. He did just roll 4 damage on 2 blue dice.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, he's going to roll blue, black off of this Starlet, blue, black, red,
Right.
and I was not expecting that to hit 5 damage.
Yeah, well, lucky for Steven, I suppose. Steven will take off Scree's shield, and Justice will respond with a Witchfire, it looks like, taking off Sylvestra's shield and dealing 7 damage.
Yeah, which is quite the flurry. Justice had just drawn 2, which could possibly have found him a diplomatic meeting or something that would keep Scree alive. I suppose the dig in here has a chance of keeping Scree alive.
Right. Now Steven's going to need to tactical reroll something or other to get there.
I'm hoping that our players realize that Sylvestra's not shielded. Because I don't think the shield went away.
I hope so as well. So yeah, Steven tactical rerolled into a modify and a 2 damage, which was enough to take out Scree. I mean, Steven's dealt 10 and Justice has dealt 11.
Yeah,
So
and Justice started with 34 and Steven started with 32.
yeah, exactly. So on that metric, Justice is doing great. Now, Steven's built his board state up and Justice lost a Leyline of Great Rest this round. So, you know.
They did figure it out. Steven dug in and he gestured to say he was going to dig in onto his energy retracer, and then he realized that he's actually digging in onto Sylvestra. That shield was still there by mistake.
Good.
Yeah, so the board state is resolved, was properly maintained.
Good job, guys. All right, so going into round 3, we've got Justice going first, doing something, presumably. And, okay, does he have Cujo? The top of every round, the question is there Cujo? We're starting with Alejandro.
Which is where we would start if there was a Cujo.
Yep, and Cujo. Play a Cujo. Play a Cujo.
One,
That's
two,
not a
three.
Cujo. Okay, maybe
Rumble of the
next round.
Grotto is a heck of a card.
It is. Maybe next round.
Maybe next round. Yeah, the green deck still only has 3 Cujos in it.
Yeah.
And, you know, Leyline of Great Rest is excellent in round 1. Rumble of the Grotto's always excellent. It's not like you're doing nothing when you don't find Cujos.
Oh, yeah. Rumble's great.
But you do pay a meaningful cost in how you built your hero line in order to optimize for Cujo.
Yeah.
And so whenever you don't find him, you notice.
Huh. I'm sure Justice also has some First Life's gifts in there somewhere, which is also good with his hero line.
And we saw that there were Oasis Mystics.
Sure. Okay, so Justice is going to Witchfire the shield off of Sylvestra, and then activate Ritual Circle, putting 3 events on the bottom of his deck to deal 3 and roll 2 damage.
Yeah, and so there you are.
Awesome.
The Ritual Circle here, for 2 activations, has probably been more powerful than Leyline of Great Rest would have been for those same 2 activations.
Yeah.
There are some diminishing returns. Justice is now out of events. But I think Steven made this play so that he could detonate mines at this round, and the detonate mines just never came.
Yeah, okay, sure. Sylvestra's activation there shielded herself with her trigger, and so Justice doesn't get to just snap off the damage right now. But cool. The Rumble of the Grotto was able to roll damage, and so Justice does have a path towards defeating Sylvestra. His worst case scenario is Steven disrupts his dice enough that he doesn't actually take out Sylvestra and spends a whole round fighting into that.
And
right?
Steven's deck is actually really good at making that sort of thing happen.
Exactly. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, Steven could have snapped off Starlet and rolled blue, blue, red, and then there's a decent chance that you're able to protect Sylvestra.
Yeah.
But now he needs... Yeah, I see an Energy Retracer, but that doesn't do it. Oh, maybe I don't see an Energy Retracer. I thought I did when he was flicking, but then
Sure.
it didn't look like it when he settled down.
Yeah, I don't think so. Or I didn't see an Energy Retracer at the very least.
There's a Sleight of Hand, but a Sleight of Hand will only answer one of those and will not protect the Sylvestra.
Sure.
And there are the shields, which are the ones he needed, but now it's 1 action late.
Yeah, it is. Steven's got a Starlet trigger here to think about resolving, and it looks like he doesn't need the second shield too.
Mostly because this isn't enough to protect the Sylvestra. He
Yeah.
did need both of them to protect Sylvestra if he had the turn to do it.
Yeah.
But now he sees that she's defeated, and so now he's playing the post-Sylvestra game.
So Justice has made an excellent breakpoint.
Yes!
So this was a good round for Justice so far.
Justice is halfway there, and as long as Alejandro / Alexandrite, if they take fewer than 6 damage, then Justice is ahead.
Yeah.
And if they take fewer than 12 damage, then Justice is now on the favorable side of the breakpoints that his 3-hero build has compared to Steven's 2-hero build.
Exactly.
But we've got a Haymaker.
Orchestral Conductor here is going to put a red counter on each of the Energy Retracer and the Docide Thug, and Steven still has a continued training to activate. So Steven's gonna be rolling a lot of red dice.
And a Witchfire would remove the Docide Thug.
Yeah, it would.
But Justice has already used 2. There's only 1 more in the deck, assuming he's playing all 3.
Right. I wonder what these last 2 gems are going to be for Justice, if anything.
A very good chance they're nothing, because you have to remember that Justice
Yeah.
has been living off the top of his deck.
Yeah, his only green dice he's been rolling is this Alexandrite dice, and which is the good one for drawing cards. And it hit a draw 2 last round. But Justice is really mostly top decking here.
In fact, does Justice have any cards in his hand?
Yeah, I think he has 1. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't...
It doesn't look like he does it?
It doesn't.
Okay.
And we know he played Ridgefire and Rumble of the Grotto this round.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's where we are. I don't... it could just be off screen.
Oh, yeah. No, it looks like he doesn't have any cards in hand. He'd be holding them somewhat.
So now he just needs to brace... see how much damage he takes.
Yep.
There's a decent chance it's going to be 12, but maybe it won't be.
I guess we'll see. So Steven will start activating his gigantic pile of red dice. And other colors, but lots of red. Retracer and Docide Thug there. Steven found a 1 damage on a green dice. He'll take off Alexandrite's shield, and Justice will dig in. So now Steven's just going to try to make as much damage as possible, probably.
And right now he's showing 9. He's showing take off the shield and deal 8, assuming you modify into damage. So that's 10. So Steven now still needs something.
Yeah.
I always forget that you can just modify into modify 2 when I do that calculus. So he might actually be at 12.
Sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Steven takes a tactical reroll or 2. He's got like 5 cards in hand.
And these red dice reroll very well. You maybe want a shield, but if you reroll your blue dice and your 2 red dice, the chances that one of them comes up shield is pretty high.
Red, blue is his reroll. What do we got? We got 4 more damage and 2 shields. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So now Steven's going to be putting Alejandro to 8 or 7 or something like that.
Okay, so there goes Alexandra, and Steven's still got 5 dice. Modify the yellow dice into damage. I guess he really wants 2 sources of damage. He wants that black dice to show 1 damage.
Yep, so you re-rolling here is fine. You could have just modified to modify 2 and then modified into a 1 and a 2.
Sure.
But is this actually any better?
I mean...
No, this is just the same somehow.
Sure. So modify 2 into damage, take off the shield, deal 2, and then resolve shield 2. Will be the last of Steven's dice, and we'll go into round 4 here.
Yeah, and so that was looking pretty good for Justice, and then the orchestral conductor just came down, was functionally 5 red dice.
Yeah.
Well, 4 red dice and a blue dice.
Yeah.
And really swung things around.
Yeah, seriously. And Justice needs a Cujo here to pull it back, but he drew a Federation Arborealist and a Return to Soil.
That's not good here.
That's not good here.
And we've seen this with your deck quite a bit, where when you run your opponent out of cards and they have a bad top deck, there's a lot of times just no way out of that. And this time it came from
that's where we're at.
It came from the Energy Retracer on the yellow dice. Leyline of Great Rest made 1 yellow dice. Steven was like, that's what this entire game is going to be about.
And then it was.
Yeah.
I mean, Cujo was 7 more cards deep. So, like, it wasn't going to be a Cujo game either way.
Yeah, and with the help of Relic Seeker, like, Justice probably went, 8, 13, 16, never do math on stream, right? He probably went about 21 cards deep.
Sure.
And going 21 cards deep and not seeing 1 of your 3-ofs is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of thing that can happen when your deck is so centered around 1 card.
Exactly. All right, well, good job, Steven. Congratulations on your win. That's going to do it for our weekly here.
Great. Yeah, we'll have the new one up in 3 or 4 days because it turns out another week has passed.
Turns out. Usually goes that way.
Yep. Dulcet Underworlds comes out July 31st. Ask your retailers if you can pre-order it. Ask them if they're throwing a party. We're making some cool opportunities available for them. But they don't all know about it, so you should pressure them into asking us.
And if you've gotten to this point in the video, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. Leave a comment. It would help us a lot.
Yep, and come back in a few days.
We'll see you there.